Morning. One man is dead and another behind bars after a shooting between neighbors. And a Pike County murder investigation is one step closer to a resolution.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this Thursday, October 9th. We are at 6 o'clock on the dot this morning, and we're ready for a check of our weather with meteorologist Eric Dean. Eric, I gotta say, this temperature, it's the right time for an ice cream cone.
Yes, it is. You don't have to worry about it melting. As a matter of fact, Amelia, take a look at this. We are 22 degrees cooler than this time yesterday here in Hazard. Same in Jonesville, 20 degrees cooler in Williamsburg, 19 degrees cooler in London, 20 degrees cooler in Prestonsburg. Something went through. That was a cold front. And we've been talking about that the past few days. It's finally pushed through. We're seeing temperatures right now in the 40s. All is quiet on live pinpoint Doppler radar. This is going to get a nice little vacation over the next few days as high pressure stays in control. Look at Clintwood, 41 degrees, 41 in Boonville. Jackson's at 47. We're at 43 in Hazard, 45 in Williamsburg. We'll see temperatures today in the mid-60s with plenty of sunshine. But how long will this nice weather last? I'll have that answer coming up in the first alert forecast in a few minutes. But right now it is 6:01. We'll toss it back to Amelia.
The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office arrested a Somerset man after he reportedly shot and killed his neighbor. Deputies responded to 209 Dogwood Lane at around 12:35 yesterday morning. The caller says her husband, Adam Rourke, had been shot by their neighbor, James Gleason. Officials say life-saving techniques were performed, but Rourke was pronounced dead at the scene. Prosecutors say a Pike County murder investigation that's been ongoing since 2019 is one step closer to a resolution. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has the latest.
On July 6, 2019, a West Virginia man was found dead in a park near the South Williamson floodwall.
Adrian Smith still deserves justice for his murder, and so we've got everybody here now and we're ready to proceed with the case.
Wednesday, the two men charged with his murder appeared before a judge in Pike County.
And we have this murder case pending against Charles Blevins and Demetra Smith, who are brothers.
Investigators say Charles Ray Blevins, who was on probation after his release for a previous murder conviction, fled the area after the murder, but was located in South Carolina, arrested and arraigned in Pike County earlier this year.
I don't know where Demetra Smith has been up until this summer, but I do know that Charles Blevins has been on the run, and it took the U.S. Marshal Service to track him down.
Prosecutors with the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office say the case is now coming together with both men in custody.
We think that Demetra lured the victim to the park where Charles was hiding and came out and killed the victim.
Now, more than 6 years after Adrian Smith's death, Assistant Commonwealth's Attorney Melissa Goodman says she wants his family to see justice served.
The victim's mother has been very much involved in the process up to this point.
During Wednesday's court hearing, the Commonwealth discussed plans to bring the men in for mediation in December.
All of us, the two defendants and myself, we will sit down and try to mediate the case. And I did that because I want the victim's mother to be here so that she can participate and say her piece about how she wants the case resolved.
But Goodman says it is too soon to tell what that resolution will look like. In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The men are expected to appear back in court in January after that planned mediation with the victim's family. Well, this November will mark 10 years since Officer Daniel Ellis was ambushed and shot in the line of duty in Richmond. Ellis died 2 days later, but his legacy lives in a number of ways. Next week, his cousin, Kentucky native Hannah Ellis, and Kurt recording artist will host a fundraiser in his honor. It'll be the first Officer Down Golf Classic in Nashville, and she's partnering with COPS, or Concerns of Police Survivors, to help raise money for families of fallen officers.
Kind of just step in and offer resources, everything from summer camps for the kids to counseling for the spouses to covering the costs of them going to the memorial service up in Washington, D.C.
10 years doesn't erase the pain of losing Daniel, but Hannah is hoping her efforts can at least bring some comfort to others who have received the same terrible news. The sheriff of Kentucky's smallest county was arrested Tuesday. Robertson County Sheriff Terry Gray was stopped for drunk driving. It was actually his third DUI in 2 years. The sheriff of Mason County is the person who arrested Gray. The arrest citation says Gray's blood alcohol level was more than 3 times the legal limit.
It was absolutely scary, and the way he was driving, I didn't know what was going on. And I didn't know if somebody had stolen his cruiser or what.
The director of the State Sheriff's Association and Governor Beshear have called on Gray to resign. If he doesn't within 5 days, the governor says he'll take steps to remove him from office. Kentucky law banning convicted felons from carrying firearms will remain in effect. The State Court of Appeals recently reversed a lower court's ruling. This all started when Jackroy Lamont Frazier, a convicted felon, looked to dismiss his firearms charge. He argued the Kentucky law violated his Second Amendment right. The court said the legislature has the right to disarm those deemed dangerous. The appellate court has ordered Frazier's charges be reinstated. Kentucky State Police in London are looking for a wanted man. If you look at your screen now, you can see a picture of Tommy Parton. Troopers say he's wanted for DUI, drug possession, fleeing or evading, and being a persistent felony offender. They say he's about 5 feet 9 inches tall with brown hair and hazel eyes. If you have any information, you're asked to contact the London KSP Post at 606-878-6622. Federal law enforcement officials announced the arrest of a man in connection with a wildfire that ripped through large parts of Los Angeles County, California at the start of this year. 29-year-old Jonathan Richard Knight of Florida is accused of lighting a fire that was initially extinguished by fire crews but continued to smolder underground before reigniting. The fire killed at least 12 people and leveled thousands of homes and buildings.
All right, we are waking up to some patchy fog throughout eastern Kentucky. This is a scene right now from the WYMT studios here in Hazard. You can see, you can't even see hardly anything because that visibility is so darn low. There's a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar. All is quiet right now. Temperatures right now in the 40s, even low 50s. Somerset's at 52. We're at 54 in Monticello. Manchester's at 46. Pikeville's at 46. Logan is at 46 as well. Here's a look at the bus stop forecast for today. Make sure you have a jacket or a sweater with the kiddos as they make their way to the bus stop. We'll see temperatures in the mid 40s with plenty of sunshine, only going into the mid 60s as we go into the afternoon hours. I have the complete first alert forecast coming up in a few minutes. Amelia.
Thanks, Eric, and thank you so much for joining us on Mountain News this morning at 6:07. When we return, Israel and Hamas are one major step closer to ending their 2-year-long war.